Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are all doing well, and today, my friends, we're back with another PENTA bloat video. So it is going to be 5 bloated corpses here on the ranked ladder in old Total War Warhammer 2. And generally against Dark Elves, I'm trying to think about the actual applications of the bloaty boys. If they do go with like Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, honestly, if you do get a square impact, you more or less break even. So in those type of builds, I feel like the bloats aren't really going to be great. But my opponent actually went with a very themed build here in this game, which was hilarious. It's actually going to be a Sister of Slaughter Rush, which in, some theories could actually run over a Vampire Coast army and have some really good kind of grind and push. But against bloated corpses, this is like the one scenario in all of Total War Warhammer 2, I mean, aside from other elite infantry builds, in which the PENTA bloat, I actually loaded into this game and I was like, oh, hell yeah, look at all those Sisters of Slaughter there, man. This is going to be great. So basically, it's going to be a game of cat and mouse between my opponent and I. I have to get the bloats on top of the sisters. He has to try and use his manticores and his single entities and his chariots to snipe down the bloats. And that is going to be the determining factor. But aside from that, obviously, it's a pretty funky build. We have Araness Assault Spite here on the Crab, mixed with the Vampire Fleet Captain of the Deep to use the Vangeist Revenge combo. This is like one of the most janky combos ever, but basically what you do is you use the Spearfisher's Net to lock down a unit, then you blast it with the Vangeist Revenge so they can't dodge it. It's really ridiculous. Double Colossus, and yeah, we got a Gunnery Wight for extra ammo and some dogs in the back, and that's pretty much it. So for my opponent's build, a really wild Sister Rush. So it's going to be 5 Sisters, I think, backed by 2 Scourge Runner Chariots, double Manticores. We got Crone Hellebron on foot, and we do also have a Sorceress of Fire. So 2 very memey builds here facing off, as both Colossus actually shoot downtown and try and pick off that Feral Manticore, but no luck, actually. It looks like those shots actually just went through the Manticore. So after I saw that, I was like, all right, I'm just going to switch over here and go after the Sisters and hope for the best. But yeah, the one thing I was very stressed out about is that the Manticores would come in and just pop my bloated corpses. And yeah, I do have these Scurvy Dogs back there. So I was like, okay, maybe if the Manticore does land on the bloaty boys, I can get the Scurvy Dogs to attack and pin the Manticore and get a kill there and maybe make it worth the effort. Now, the first combo is going to be going down. Aranessa moving forward on her Crab and also the Vampire Fleet Captain. So we do drop the nets here, and now you can see the Vangeist Revenge. Not the best cast, although actually that looks pretty straight. So Sister is going to be going down, and oh, hail the mighty. Going to be dropping some serious bombs right here, and you can see the Sisters of Slaughter get eviscerated. Oh my god, that was so much damage. Down to 52 models. Certainly a pretty good start, but also a little bit sloppy on my part. We do get Crone Hellebron beating the brakes off my Vampire Fleet Captain. It's like, holy shit, that's not good. But she's going for the bloat, and this bloat, it does get a little bit of acceleration, so one bloat does make contact over there, hitting the Sisters pretty square. So 2 of the Sister units very damaged here, and I couldn't quite catch them. They're much quicker than me. They have 44 speed against my bloat's 38. So what I did is I used taunts from the Vampire Fleet Captain, and now the bloat is going, and oh, there's no escape, baby. The big boy's coming. He's coming for them chicken tenders there, and he does get the nice jump and is able to blast the Sisters of Slaughter into another dimension. So pretty strong start for sure. 2 of the bloats did connect. One of them did get Manticored, another one as well. So I think this is the last one right here. Yeah, no, the other one did get Manticored down, unfortunately. But this one does make contact and basically finishes off the last of those Sisters there. It's a pretty devastating damage. But, all jokes aside, when you invest that much in bloated corpses, the rest of your army does end up being a little bit haggard. Tried to get a side call there, but they actually ended up breaking and getting away here. Aranessa being hunted down by the Crone Hellebron. Crone Hellebron, of course, very scary in dueling, has better armor piercing, but I was like, you know what, with Manon's luck, maybe we can get some good trades here. So we have the ultimate fight between these 2 haggard lords, as it looks like Aranessa is just like escorting Crone Hellebron into another dimension. Good Manticore play right here from my opponent, able to jump on top of the Vampire Fleet Captain, and now we have Crone versus Aranessa, while the other Manticore does jump on top of my Gunnery Wight, and basically just using the Scurvy Dogs to swarm the last of the Sisters of Slaughter here, trying to chase him down. And Scurvy Dogs are a lot of people kind of under the impression that you have to use them to, for example, dive into your opponent's back line, but you can use them defensively very well and to like chase down and counterpunch. I actually do think that using Scurvy Dogs as a bit of a counterpunching unit is just objectively better. Now, I actually thought Aranessa would win. All hands holy popped here, but Crone Hellebron just went apeshit. 981! Oh my god, with the Witch's Brew. I was not paying attention here in this particular moment in the battle. I have to be honest with you here. And Crone Hellebron giving Aranessa the business. I did not see that coming, that's for sure. The Witch's Brew putting her up to a pretty insane amount of health, and Aranessa actually just shatters. My opponent starts to come back in the game. Certainly a little bit scary. Burning Head going down in the backfield does hit my zombies right there. And now my doggos are trying to swarm on the Sorceress, get rid of those Burning Heads, and do our thing here. One Manticore broken off by the Deckhand Mobs as well as the Gunnery Wight. Unfortunately, this Manticore doing a great job with the support of the Ravagers of Rakarth there in the backfield. But it looks like this Colossus probably will go down, or at least get to the point of crumbling, which will lead to its inevitable demise. But Crone Hellebrand's still going pretty ape here in the battlefield. My caster was about to die, so just for the cinematics of it, I decided to use the Vangeist Revenge. There was literally no other good targets for it, and it just takes out a couple of my own dogs. But, you know, it's all about sending a message. So our caster, before she did get karate chopped into another dimension by the Crone Hellebrand with her obscene combat stats. And yeah, Crone actually really packs some punch. I feel like as far as like Beam Lords go, Crone actually does have some serious stopping power. You know, and can get in there, and if you ignore her, she can do some big damage for sure. Here, one Colossus is at 19 HP, about to crumble down, and it does crumble before the Manticore makes contact. Down goes the Colossus, and now the mighty Manticore does fly up in the sky, and the other Colossus is going to be trying to blast it down. I think it had like 300 HP or something. So looking like that's more or less going to be GG here for the Dark Elves. Most of the sisters, probably about 3,000 or 4,000 gold value in the beginning, got popped by the bloated boys, but I mean, the stars truly aligned with this one. Obviously, this video may have made it look like bloated corpses are viable, but typically you're not going to be seeing builds like this with like massive amounts of elite, you know, infantry rushing against Coast. Coast has been a faction that, whether it be with gunline or gun bats or, you know, Colossus cannons, things like that, is exceptional at killing elite targets. Usually against Ghost, you go very wide. But I mean, even on that same note, like if a bloat is able to hit a Bleak Sword or a Dread Spear straight on and just trade 1-for-1, that's actually not a bad trade for Vampire Coast. Certainly has some applications, but that is going to be it, as the sisters do wash against the wall of zombies and they meet their inevitable demise. So now is the very interesting part of the video. We can take a look in at some of the value. I mean, Aranessa got her butt kicked by Crone Hellebrand, and that's also another really cool thing. Big props to my opponent for bringing such a cool army. But we got to see Crone Hellebrand in action. She actually did really, really good. And foot characters do actually have some applications against Coast. They're smaller targets. They're a little bit harder to snipe. I mean, it depends on what you have. If you have like certain gun bats, but if there's cannons and handguns, they can kind of blend in with infantry a little bit better. I've seen foot Loki or Fellheart be used pretty effectively against Coast and a couple other things like that. So, but the bloats, yes, let's waste no more time. 400 here, 827, so that thing did really well. 534, this one paid for itself. This is the only one that I don't think did. I think bloats cost like 450 or something. I can't quite remember, but I mean, that's close enough. 1,000 value on this one. That is just bread city, and this one got 55. So this is the one that the Manticore shut down. Colossus both did very well. Obviously, this was a quick battle game, and I think in banner rules, double Colossus is not allowed, but it used to be way back in the day. But yeah, I think double Colossus would actually, you know, part of me thinks that maybe allowing it again would be a good thing for Vampire Coast, because it would keep them, it would like de-incentivize people from, I'd rather face double Colossus than double Gunnery White and flying gun bat spam like any day of the week. So it'd be interesting to give Vampire Coast some other builds, because they've really been struggling outside of like really cheesy gun bat, Gunnery White, infinite ammo builds. So I don't know, something to consider maybe. 1,700, 1,635. Scurvy Dogs, of course, crazy good value because they were chasing down, you know, high tier units and really kind of accruing value there. But yeah, obviously, both my opponent and I brought very memey armies, very fun and flavorful, and made for a very exciting game. So well played to my opponent, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Pirates of Sartosa versus Dark Elves, and my friends, the dreaded PENTA bloat will be back another day, I'm sure. And I wish I could bring 6, but on quick battles, you're only actually allowed to bring 5 bloats. It limits you when you try and bring more, which is a little bit sad, but you know, it is what it is. All right, guys, see you next time. Take care of yourselves, and stay safe.